And it's like, at this point, it's not about the hardware. It's about what access do I have to platforms that I can buy games from. And then that really makes me think the console wars are over with as far as who's buying the most systems. But the next war is who has access to the best gaming platform.
Software.
And that goes back to what you were saying, exclusive titles. But it seems like Sony's not locking down their exclusive titles, whatever deal they got with Steam. Because as long as you got a Steam account and if Spider-Man's on there, God of War's on there, Horizon Zero Dawn is on there, it don't matter what controller I got.
Yeah, but my thing is with that is it's a good idea, but what's that price going to be? Because now you're taking that, you're going into that field of a monthly cost, like with Netflix or Hulu or something like that. And I know we used to have like those online things where you pay a subscription and you get the disc in the mail. But my thing is, how much would that monthly cost be? Also about licensing issues, because I know an issue some people ran into prior where if you download the game digitally, you technically don't own that game. And they have the right where if that publishing or that developing place say, hey, we no longer have a contract with Steam, pull our game. Now you don't have access to it online anymore. That will be one of my only concerns. Can they do that? Can they say, hey, you only have access to these fluent amount of games within? Because I'm pretty sure unless they own Steam, they can't just say you have access to everything, can they? Well, how exactly does the Game Pass work? So
Steam, the way Game Pass works is those are all the Xbox games. They just put them, it's Netflix, but with video games.
Okay,
that's the easiest way to say it. It's Netflix with video games.
But there's no downloading to the console. You're just playing that.
No, you download it.
Oh, you do download it.
Yeah, install them, delete them. But it's a list of 120 games, whatever you want to play for the month. And then each month they rotate 15, 20 games in and out.
But if they would have rotated, do you still lose access to the games you already had downloaded?
Like Netflix.
Yeah,
sometimes the Office is on there, sometimes it's not.
Because
however long they leave it on there, you can play it.
Because technically you didn't pay for it. You paid $9.99 and you got access to it.
Yeah.
So now I think the difference is
unlimited rental. It's like unlimited rental card at GameStop.
Because I think if I go buy a game, that's mine. But if I'm only doing Game Pass, you technically didn't pay for it.
Exactly.
I'm thinking of like, at least from a streamer perspective, if you playing a game that just came out and something happened with the licensing issue, then they got to take it offline. Now you no longer have access to it. Would they do that with new games to where you can't have that game on that disc?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
It would be that case. Or are we just speculating right now?
So what I think though, what I see is if I was Microsoft, you have the subscriptions. You get the people on the subscriptions. You start releasing these games on Game Pass, right? Mm-hmm. And then you get them to the point where you can bring in franchises that might not have gotten this much play. You get them out to millions. And then you release one that's not on Game Pass.
Right.
What happens that day? You force all those fans that you built, the 32, 40, I think they got 40 million active Game Pass subscribers. Mm-hmm. You give them a new game, you give them a 1, you give them a 2 version, you give them a 3 version, and then or a 4 version, or whatever the new Halo is, or the new Bethesda game is. They release those outside the console. I mean, outside of Game Pass, and you would force all those people to bound. You would cultivate those audiences. The same like Netflix. If they were to start taking some of these IPs and putting them in movie theaters, if they come out with a Bird Box 2, it would sell seats.
It will still sell seats. Yeah.
It would move mountains. So if Microsoft wanted to dive back into like a mobile marketing, even if they came out with a mobile games with Game Pass, they could come out with a version of an exclusive. And come out with an Assassin's Creed game that's only for that, that one.
Yeah, but
say you can play PlayStation games.
But they wouldn't have. They're talking about not even coming out with a console no more, right?
Well, Xbox, the report is in 2028 or 2029. They're supposed to release. They haven't mentioned about the disc drive, but they're coming out with a console that's cloud based only, meaning that everything that you have will be up in the cloud, and you're able to stream it with no issues as long as you have the correct internet speed. And with that in place with the cloud only system, it will have access to all of these other apps and streaming services like Epic Games, Steam, Game Pass. So whoever you sign into, that's where your games are at.
It'll really be like Netflix.
It'll be the Netflix of video games.
All you need is a screen with the app on it.
I think my only concern is the download part, or whether.
Well, no, you're not downloading.
Right.
That's what I said. Streaming cloud. It's on the cloud, and you're playing it off the cloud. You don't download anything.
But wouldn't you still need internet?
You need a fast internet to play it. It's literally like you're
playing. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
you're playing it while you're watching. It's like Netflix of video games. You're not downloading anything. There's no download then play. It's buffer, start, go.
Yeah. But wouldn't that be an issue?
Why? Why would it be an issue?
Because you can get overloaded with the server. There's millions of people playing a new exclusive
10
game.
years ago.
Right. Xbox has the most servers ever.
Yeah, it does. It does have the most.
They have the most
And then
servers.
when this comes out in 2-3 years,
Yeah, it might have
every
it does
6
have the most
days
servers.
they double in the speed. Like I mean,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it does have the best online multiplayer.
Mobile gaming has surpassed everybody. They have did about $92 billion in 2024 alone. They're outpacing Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo by a mile. The reports are if they're able to handle games like Grand Theft Auto, Cyberpunk, and Elden Ring, which requires large amount of storage space, if they get access and the ability to be able to play those games, do you think they are the future of gaming? Mobile.
No, I don't think so.
no, because those games will be on Game Pass, and
Right.
they will get Game Pass eventually good enough to run on mobile. I mean, they right now they only having it on those Microsoft platforms. The goal of Microsoft is to build a full ecosystem. There would
Right.
be no reason for them. You can play Game Pass on your VR right now. You can play the Nintendo Switches. They're trying to get the Game Pass on Nintendo. They're asking Sony, can we put Game Pass on that? Sony saying no and no and no, but they're asking. They want you to be able to play Game Pass everywhere. They want an ecosystem to the point where 7 of my other devices already have Game Pass on it.
So, but
Why would I buy this?
does that give? But that gives Xbox an advantage, right?
It's not a win. If 10 years from now, Microsoft boasts, software sales that outpace Sony's and Sony's still making consoles, Sony won.
Yeah.
Well, but we should talk about the console wars are over with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. That's why. That's
I
what makes it over.
But I don't think that still solved the problem of exclusive or this game came out on this first. Because you can still have Game Pass from how it sounds, but does that necessarily mean that a game or an exclusive comes out on Game Pass first? Isn't that still up to the licensing and the publishing, wherever they publish that game first? Like, I mean, you still got like big titles like Last of Us, God of War. If those still comes out on another console first, whether if they come out on Steam first, PlayStation.
Well, no, that's not the argument. The argument is if they're able to put the streaming service on any system, because at the end of the day, it's about money.
Yeah.
Because if you're a company, you'd be like, well, do we care about selling Xbox system or do we care about having 200 million people access Game Pass?
But how does that work? Because I know when you sell at least now when you sell a digital copy versus an actual copy, doesn't the developers only get a certain percent?
It's like 12.5, 12.5, 12.5.
How many times can you resell a digital copy? Would it be considered a used digital copy?
No.
Don't sell
Technically,
digital copy.
it would just go straight to the Game Pass. Well, you're paying for the subscription, not the. I see what you're saying, but
You're paying for the subscription to have access to the games that are on there.
yeah, but that's more of a long term. That's more of a long term fight then.
That's the argument. That's They're playing the long-term
they're losing
game.
money on Game Pass to start.
right.
Yeah,
the
you
same as
probably
they lose money on the consoles. They
Yeah,
lose,
I don't think, like, I know you said something about the mobile games. I don't think we'll ever. I would assume we'll never see like people streaming mobile games like as part of their
Well,
stream.
you forgot what these phones can do?
I mean,
and this is
You forget these phones are computers.
but I don't think I ever see somebody like playing the Monopoly games that everybody playing on the mobile game. I don't see somebody streaming that on their
If
YouTube.
there's a audience, you got to think about it.
there's a will.
15, 20 years ago, we would have said, you can never play Halo 1 on a cell phone. You can't play Tekken on a cell phone.
Yeah.
Now,
People on a cell phone? I ain't see it yet.
Yeah.
it's there. It ain't taking 8, but it's there.
No, it's not taking that. You probably get the 2D.
Yes.
Like these phones are becoming everything. Your news information, social media access, how you see about the weather. I think the only thing, like, they got everything.